I sometimes wonder if there's a single moment that defines the destruction of a life. For me, there is. It's the second I leaned in, drunk and careless, and kissed a stranger while my wedding ring sat cold and heavy on my finger. I've replayed that second so many times that I can practically feel my heart split again each time. That was the start of it all, the first domino. And when it fell, it brought everything down with it. My marriage, my family, the man I loved more than anything. It was supposed to be harmless. That's what I told myself when my college girlfriend suggested we take a weekend trip to the coast. 4 days of sun, wine, and laughter, away from the noise of work and the endless responsibilities of motherhood. I hesitated when they first brought it up. I wasn't the same carefree girl I had been in college. I was a wife now, a mother. I had a life with structure, love, and safety. But they pushed, and part of me longed for that freedom, even if it was just a taste of it. When I told my husband, Matt, he didn't flinch. He smiled and said, "You deserve a break, babe. I'll manage here." He kissed my forehead like he always did, warm and gentle. And I remember feeling so lucky in that moment to have someone so solid, so supportive. The morning I left, he tucked a note into my bag. It said, "Miss me a little." Just those words, scribbled in his messy handwriting. I laughed when I saw it, hugged the note to my chest, and told myself I'd keep it safe. And for the first night, I did miss him. We sat in the rental, opened a few bottles, and reminisced about the stupid things we did when we were 20. My heart felt light, and I thought, this is all it will be. Just a fun weekend with friends, no harm. But then came the second night. We went to a beach bar, crowded and loud. The music pulsed through the floorboards, the smell of salt water mixing with rum and sweat. I drank too much, more than I should have. My friends danced, and I laughed, and I felt a rush of something I hadn't felt in years, the feeling of being untethered, unaccountable. And then he appeared. Adrian. Mid-20s, sun-kissed skin, that easy charm that made you feel noticed. He slid up beside me, bought me a drink, and told me I had a beautiful smile. It should have ended there. I should have brushed it off, told him I was married, walked away, but I didn't. His attention filled some shallow, selfish craving I didn't even realize I had until that moment. One drink turned into two. He leaned in close so I could hear him over the music. His hand brushed mine when he handed me the glass, and I didn't pull away. I kissed him first. I wish I could say otherwise, but it was me. My choice. And then later that night, when my friends went back to the Airbnb, I didn't follow. I went with him instead. One night. One meaningless, reckless night that shattered everything. The next morning, I stared at myself in the bathroom mirror of his room, bile in my throat. I scrubbed my skin raw in the shower, trying to erase what I had done, but no amount of soap could wash away the truth. I told myself I'd bury it, pretend it never happened. Matt didn't need to know. It meant nothing. But it wasn't nothing. 2 days after I got home, Matt confronted me. I can still see the way his hands shook as he held out his phone. There was a picture on Facebook. Someone we vaguely knew had been at the same bar, and they'd posted photos, and in the background of one, there I was. Adrian's arm around me, my face tilted toward him, smiling in a way that betrayed everything. Matt didn't yell. He just asked one question. Who is he? My heart slammed against my ribs. I lied at first. I said he was just some guy who bought me a drink, that it was nothing. But Matt's eyes bored into me, cold and unblinking, and he asked again, "Who is he?" His voice was quiet, steady, but it cut sharper than if he had screamed. I broke. I confessed. Not all of it, not the whole truth, but enough. I told him I kissed him, that I let it go too far. His face when I said it, I will never forget it. The way his features collapsed, the way his eyes glossed over with tears he refused to shed in front of me. He stood up, walked away, and for the next 2 weeks he lived like a ghost in our home. He moved into the guest room, he avoided me, he ate in silence. I begged him to talk, begged him to scream, to cry, to do anything but shut me out. I apologized until my throat was raw. I wrote letters, left them on his nightstand, hoping he'd read them. He didn't. One night, he finally told me he was leaving. He had already signed a lease on an apartment. He couldn't look at me without seeing betrayal. He couldn't forgive me. I fell apart. I clutched his hands, sobbed into his chest, begged him to stay. I promised to do anything, to go to therapy, to spend the rest of my life proving my loyalty. He looked down at me with eyes colder than I'd ever seen and asked, if it meant nothing, why wasn't I enough? I had no answer. Because the truth was, he was enough. He always was. I was the one who wasn't. Now the house is quiet. Our kids ask where Daddy is, and I lie through my teeth because how do you tell children that Mommy destroyed everything with one selfish choice? I see him online, smiling in pictures with friends, looking healthier, freer, stronger without me. And me? I sit here in the ruins, clutching that note he put in my bag before I left. Miss me a little. I missed him more than a little every second of that trip. And yet, I still did what I did. I still threw it all away. One night, one bar, one mistake. That's all it took to lose the love of my life. My vacation wasn't just a break. It was the death sentence for my marriage. And I handed down the verdict myself. Now, every morning I wake up and wonder how a single decision can ruin everything you ever loved. And the cruelest part is that I'll never get to take it back.